Hello, this is Alexis and Tara with Really Relatable. Thanks for tuning in today.
So excited
listening
you're
to
here.
us. So excited that you are here.
Today we are sponsored.
Yeah, what do you got to say, Tara?
Today we are sponsored by Caribou Coffee. They're always giving a pep in their step and total community sponsors. We're so excited to have them as a sponsor for our community give back that we do at the end of the show and just sponsoring our podcast in general. So we're really excited for that.
Yes, absolutely. With every single episode that we do as well, we always like to start it out with a little bit of a small business shout out. And today I thought that it would be appropriate to give a shout out to the small business that is basically ornamenting me with some of my jewelry pieces. It is one of my close girlfriends, Rachel. She has her company that she runs just out of her home. She has her crafting room at home, and she makes some of the most beautiful, delicate jewelry. I have one of her chains on right now, and then she makes all these really beautiful bracelets. She actually just made this one, and I thought that it was meant to be because it's garnet, and those are my daughter and now soon to be my son's birthstone. But she makes some of the most beautiful jewelry. I absolutely love buying from her. I love wearing it. I love supporting her, and it's her side hustle too.
What's the name of her business?
Ray Jewelry is the name of her business. And it's actually really funny because I got to know Rachel, and she was doing my hair for the longest time. And I went to Apricot Lane here in the mall.
Yeah.
And I saw these earrings that I really, really liked that were right up at the checkout. And I bought them. And then I was wearing them constantly. And I went to go and get my hair done by her. And she's like, "Hey, you're wearing my earrings." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Wait, it's that Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she does. She does an amazing job with my hair, but she is very, very crafty, as you can see. And she makes some absolutely beautiful pieces.
Yeah, I always love everything you wear. It's so cute. I didn't realize she made all of that. For some reason, I love that. And so how did she get into jewelry? She does it out of her home just on the side? Or
Yeah, she does it out of her home. She does it on the side.
Yeah.
It's just something that I think she saw, and she loves fashion.
Yeah.
You know, she always knows, you know, who's wearing what and where is it from. And she's very much like me, you know, constantly going on different websites and adding to the cart and then just waiting to check out in the cart. But she's always been very, very fashion forward and loved that world. And she's very creative. You know, I feel like being in the cosmetology world, like you just have to have that creative bone in you. But yeah, she gets all of these like semi-precious stones. I have another one that's actually at home that is this white turquoise bracelet that she made, and she just she finds these beautiful gemstones and she makes the most beautiful pieces. So if you are looking for any jewelry, you ladies or even gentlemen out there,
so
definitely check it out.
Where does she sell it? Like only in stores, or is she online?
She's online, Ray Jewelry. She has her online. I think it's just rayjewelry.com.
So we'll have to link it for our listeners because I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll link it and go and check her out. She's a beautiful person.
And I love Rachel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who may or may not know, or who may or may not even care.
Yeah.
She does hair, but I wear a halo, which I love. You know, and people can't even tell a lot of times that I have it in but I order it from her because she does that. And she's just,
I know she got sick of me complaining about my halos.
Yeah.
Because I've worn them for like so many years.
Yeah.
And I always ordered them from one girl specifically out of Texas, and she stopped selling them. So then I found this other girl in town that was ordering them, but you know, I don't go and get my hair done by her. So it was always kind of this weird in between of getting my halo ordered. And then I was talking to Rachel about it because she would cut and color my halos. And we call it my buddy. I would always bring my halo in for her to wash it or cut it or do something with it. She's like, "Oh, you brought your buddy today." And she told me that another girl that's in the salon, she's over at the Exchange Parlor downtown De Pere.
Yeah.
And she told me that her friend Nikki that's in the salon with her as well, sold halos. I'm like, "Okay, well, absolutely. I'm going to start ordering from Nikki."
Yeah.
Like 2 appointments later, she's like, "Screw it. I'm going to start selling halos." She's like, "Just start ordering them through me."
I know. I love that. Yeah. She's so nice. And then when I showed up, she's like, "I actually know you." I'm like,
"Really?
What?" She goes, "I told Alexis this." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh my God." And I felt so bad because, you know, when you're like in a certain world, whether I used to work at the farmer's market or whatever, and you'd see all these people every day and you talk to them all the time. And then you see them like totally out of place, like at church or in the grocery store and you have no idea how you know this person, even though you've had like deep conversations with
Big
them.
little town of Green Bay.
Yes. So I used to work at an organization that's no longer around called Think Marriage, which is a healthy relationship education from like toddler on or middle school on, right? And we would teach healthy relationship education. It wasn't about marriage, so it wasn't a very good name. But anyway, they're not around anymore. And one of the girls that would come there all the time to our retreats owned the little kids haircutting place in
Doolittles?
no, it's not Snips and Giggles.
Snips and Giggles. Yes.
And Rachel used to work there. So I would go in to talk to the owner and she's like, I used to remember you came in there because I'd bring my daughters there all the time. But I really only knew Sarah, the owner, who I love. It's a great business. She's expanded that into other cities now. And Rachel used to work there.
That must have been when she just started out.
It was. She's like, I was 20 and just starting to do hair. So we started with little kids. And I remember thinking, at the time, she was so nice and so kind. And I thought, this girl's like going to go on to do some pretty cool things. So I love that now she has a jewelry line and she's doing halos and she's working at this beautiful exchange parlor. Is amazing.
I know. She's one of those ones where I stopped going to her for a little while when I was working at Ulta because I got my discount back in the salon.
Sure. Yep.
So it just made sense for me to do that. But she was one of those ones where she worked at a couple of different salons and I followed her wherever she was. I mean, there was at one point she was even working out of like Appleton. I'm like, I don't care. I'm driving my butt to Appleton.
Yep. Well, it's good. So I referred one of our real estate clients to her.
Really?
Well, one for Halo, and now she's doing her hair. And this woman, Diane, she's like, I'm going to fly back from Florida, I think, to have her do my hair because she's so good.
She does so good. She has brought me effortlessly from like the dark brunette, like almost black that I am right now. And I'll sit in her chair. And like a couple of years ago, I was just like, I just want to be blonde. And she's like, okay. And like a couple of months later, I'm just like, no, I don't want to be dark again. And then she'd bring me back to dark.
Yeah.
And a couple of months after that, oh, I want to be blonde again. Oh, no, actually, I want to be auburn. And she was always like, let's do it.
Yeah. Cosmetologists are really good that way. They're super creative. Actually, Erin on staff here, she's a cosmetologist at Heart too.
Yeah, you are.
Licensed. And she's like, I'll do your hair. I'm like, I would love that, but I have loyalties.
Yeah, I know. You find your girl and you stick with her. Rachel, you're my girl.
Otherwise, you could do my hair, Erin. I would let you do it.
No.
You'd probably be cheaper than my girl too. But
Erin's behind the camera right now. Yeah. She's just giggling. Love you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so we like doing inspirational stories, and you've got one to share with us.
I sure do.
I'm so excited to hear about this.
So the inspirational story of the day was actually, I was just reading about it, and it kind of made me tear up because it's just good comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
Right.
So there's this little boy. His name is Kayzen.
Kayzen, that's a cool name.
Kayzen, Kayzen.
I love that.
He is oh my God, what did they say? He was like 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like this really young kid.
Yeah.
And he's from Little Rock, Arkansas. And he had his morning routine where he would always go and get breakfast at his local Waffle House.
I love Waffle House.
Yeah, he would always go and get his breakfast at his local Waffle House. And there was always this one specific guy that would always serve his family, and his name was Dante.
Dante at Waffle House.
And he was this very cheery, always smiling. He would see Kayzen and his family when Kayzen would go with his grandpa or his dad or whomever he was with, and kind of got to be like this family friend and this like welcoming, familiar face for Kayzen and his family.
Okay.
And they just grew this bond.
Love that.
And time goes on, and Kayzen and his family start to learn more about Dante's family. They start learning that he is a father, and he has 2 little girls at home. They're very, very young, like all of 5 years old and younger, the 2 of them. And he starts learning that he is having a lot of troubles financially. And just recently, he had moved into a very low income area because that's what he was able to afford.
Right.
And he was running into a lot of issues with the structure that he was living in, with the house that he was living in. And he was running into issues with black mold. His babies were getting sick.
Yes.
He's just not having any kind of good luck. No. And the second that especially his daughter started getting affected by this, he said, okay, like I need to make a change.
Right.
But when you're in the position that he was in, you can only do so much when you only are making so much at the same time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you have what you have, and you got to figure it out. Yeah.
So he moved his babies and himself into a motel.
Okay.
Kaysen's family found out that they had been living in this motel for about 8 months.
Okay.
In the time that they were living in this hotel, he also did not have a vehicle. He didn't have a vehicle. He was having a very, very hard time being able to get to and from work, to be able to get to the Waffle House, to be able to make the money, to be able to, pay to house his daughters in the one and only place that he could afford at the time that would keep them healthy.
Yeah. Right.
So Kaysen wanted to help. He decided at 11 years old, I'm going to help.
Okay.
And he started a GoFundMe. And this 11-year-old with absolutely no idea of, the value or the worth of money really at this point in his life.
No,
but
right.
I want to raise $500. And then Kaysen's family got involved and said, why don't we try and raise enough in order to be able to get him a car, to at the very least be able to get him to work.
Heck yeah.
And then he started, okay, well, I'm not going to raise the $500. I'm going to raise $5,000 and we're going to get him something that can get him from A to B.
Wow.
Word got out in the community in Little Rock in what Kaysen was doing for Dante and for his daughters and his just light that he wanted to be able to bring to this entire situation that Dante was in. And at the end of the day, this GoFundMe page caught fire around this community and beyond the community even. And the GoFundMe page ended up raising over $100,000.
What?
Yeah.
Does he still work at Waffle House?
He still works at the Waffle House.
Oh my gosh. See, I love these stories because it's like, this is a freaking 11-year-old kid moved to do something.
It was just his friend that he just wanted to make a difference. He wanted to help him. And this Dante guy too, even with everything that he was going through, he showed up to work every single day and he was always a light to Kaysen and his family. A lot of people can find themselves in situations like that and it can get the best of them. But no, apparently he was always this guy that just was a welcoming light.
Yeah, well, it's like misery loves company. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm going to have a bad day, so I'm going to make everybody's day bad. Or you look at it from the sense of, I'm going to try to go and do more and do better. And if I can bring joy to some kid coming into Waffle House, who knew that it would turn into that?
Yeah.
I mean, this Kaysen kid, that's amazing.
I know.
That's something.
That's what I'm saying. They come, like the good comes in all shapes, sizes.
It's going to look really good on his college application.
I know, right? I just wanted to raise $500 and accidentally raised $100,000 for my friend. So he could continue to be there when I went to Waffle House.
I love that. I just think, you see these guys that continue to show up every single day. Like their lives are hard, but they don't let it impact other people. Or they're willing to take jobs that other people don't want to do just to make ends meet or make decisions. Like the last thing he wanted to do was live in a hotel, but like to provide a protective life for his kids. I just think that's amazing. Because he could have taken easy roads and done other things. Like anybody can make bad decisions to try to make ends meet. So I love that he just showed up at work and tried to do the right thing. And
he's a humble man.
Yeah. Love that.
All he wanted to do was to be able to have enough to be able to afford, like you said, just a good, healthy life for his daughters.
Yeah.
Kaysen helped him do that.
I love that we start off with these inspirational stories. I just think there's such a great way to kind of be humbled in general and just listen and go, gosh, when I think my life is hard, it's really not. I mean, yes, I have challenges and everybody's challenges, I think, are as hard as they are for them, right? Like what their hardship is might not be a hardship to us because you have a different ability to deal with things. So I think everybody deals with things on their own and some things that we don't think are hard and vice versa. So I love that. Yeah. Like by the way, it's just speaking of that, we need to add a correction because last week, we told this amazing story about a talking monk. Okay.
Tara, what was he? Was he a talking monk?
He was not a talking monk.
Nope.
He was a Hindu priest. Which makes sense as to why he was talking.
Still loves his peace and serenity.
So Hindu priest, talking monk, totally different. I'm so sorry.
Reads Hindu priest, processes talking monk.
Yes, I was not trying to, didn't want to make anybody mad, didn't want to offend anybody. I know monks don't talk. I've learned that. I've been made aware. I've been made aware.
Vow of silence.
And it is now.
That's why he spoke.
That's why he spoke. Well, that's why it didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Now it all makes sense. So heads up and high fives to Hindu priests and non-talking monks. We love all of you. So
yeah. And world peace.
Yeah.
All right, guys. When we come back, we are going to be joined by our special guest of this week, Emily Stryker.
I love Emily. You guys are going to love her. She's one of my faves.
She's one of our own. We'll be right back.
Today's small business giveaway is proudly sponsored by Near North Title. Remember Near North Title for the most ethical and transparent title and escrow needs for Northeast Wisconsin.
Not to mention, they are a fun group of powerful and beautiful businesswomen and mamas. We thank all of the amazing ladies at Near North Title.
We are sitting here with Miss Emily Stryker, homeschool mom, realtor, Gap model.
In a past life, yes.
Yes.
We'll never let you
And
forget.
so many more things. We're so excited to have you sitting here
Yeah,
to learn more about you and have listeners learn more about all that you are. You're vibrant, you're driven. You just kind of embody everything that we look for at Legacy. So we're so excited that you're here.
Well, that's a talk up right there. How do you really?
Well, I don't know. You could go now, probably. I mean, we just kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
Bye.
We're done.
So nice
That's
being here.
Emily.
And that's Emily. Thanks for coming.
It was my
No.
pleasure.
But seriously, Emily reached out to us.
Yeah.
When,
You reached out to me.
did we?
Did we? I
Did we?
don't think so.
No, I think I reached out to you.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be cool.
Okay.
Did it work?
Yeah. You
But
almost had us.
But yeah, reached out to us, and I think your first meeting was with Tara,
Yes.
right? And
Yep.
then and then Tara came to me, and she was just like, "Oh my God, you need to meet this girl." Absolutely, like she needs to be a part of our team, and she's just, like you just meet people, and you're just like, okay, that's like your people.
Yeah.
It was just like that's just the vibe that you gave us.
It was interesting because it was a little bit, I like almost stalked you, kind of like Baxter stalked us. Like I kind of stalked her. So first I saw her liking our stuff on Instagram. And then I sent it to you. And I was like, look at this girl liking our stuff. Like I really like who she is. And then all of a sudden she didn't post for like,
Where did you
2
go?
weeks. I'm like, where'd you go? And so I sent her a message and I was like, I know this is really weird, but we're just making sure you're okay because you haven't posted in a while. And she's like, who are you? And then she reached out and I was like, oh, you're live. Cool. Let's meet for coffee.
Yeah.
And that
pretty
was
much.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, technically, then we did reach out first.
Yeah.
That was then you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny. I had been posting on Instagram and I had been watching Selling Sunset and I was like, I really just need to get my life together and like get my Instagram page going. So I was posting a bunch and then all of a sudden Tara was like, hey, you stopped. And I was like, oh my God, somebody's holding me accountable. Like this is intense. So I was like, I better start posting again. Now she needs me to meet for coffee.
Your future broker
I was
already
like, yes,
holding you
yes,
accountable.
ma'am, I will be
Didn't even
there.
hire you yet.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get back to it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we met and I heard more about what you guys were doing. And I honestly was happy where I was before. I wasn't looking for something different, but then I realized community was lacking after I had been around you guys. And I was like, okay, this feels good to come over here.
We knew you were coming when you called and you hadn't decided yet. And you're like, yeah, so I have to write a contract and like,
We just got
Like,
done
how
meeting
do
with
we-
you. Yeah,
yeah.
I need to think about this less than 24 hours later. So I need to write a contract.
what are we going to do?
What do we do?
Well, I knew it would be messy if I started it and then brought it over.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm just going to do this and
Mhm.
called you and we wrote it up then because why put off the inevitable sort of a thing?
Yep.
I was pre-thinking, guys. You should be grateful for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one. Doesn't always happen, but that time it
Yeah.
did.
I love that. Love, love, love.
We're grateful for a lot of things. So tell us a little bit about you because you homeschool your 2 babes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You're a wife. You are really involved in the community in all different kind of aspects. You're
Mhm.
killing it at real estate.
Yeah,
you.
How do you
different
balance?
parts of the community
Yeah.
than what we're embedded into.
Mhm.
Because like I'm West Side, like I'm kind of over by you, but I mean you definitely
I'm
have
up north.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've got the Nort
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much nailed down, and you got a lot going on up there.
You
like, a
got
really trusted network.
ATVs and dirt bikes and you've
Yeah,
got
I
that
married
life.
a Youper, so I just
Yeah.
kind of have to embrace that part of my life pretty much. But yeah, we met at Oshkosh and I graduated college 8.5 months pregnant, made it through,
Amazing.
did finance and HR. And as all of our friends were trying to figure out, where am I going to work? What am I going to do? I'm like, I'm having a baby. Like it was just such a different perspective to be leaving
Mhm.
college with. So I worked remotely for 2 years and decided, I'm going to get my LLC after I had my second baby and do my own stuff. I worked with real estate agents in the area doing their marketing, admin stuff. And then I'm so much like if you give a mouse a cookie, like that book, Like that is me. I have ADHD. So when we went to go sell our first house, I was like, well, if I'm going to sell my house, I'm going to get licensed. And then if I'm going to get
Makes sense.
licensed,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it into a career. And then if I'm going to do that, and it just
Yeah. Like,
snowballed.
why pay somebody else a commission when I can just not?
Right.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen that easy, but it had a lot of steps to it. And I love it. I feel like real estate pulls together all the different pieces of who I am in a really beautiful way. And yeah, homeschooling, that's a whole nother thing. If you would have asked me like a year and a half ago when I was getting ready to put him in 4K in kindergarten, I was so excited. I was like, I cannot wait to have my freedom back. I'm so excited for them to like be in school. And then God just put in my heart like the word homeschool. Like there was no guidance. It was just homeschool. And I was like, what? Like, can you say that again, please? Like, this wasn't part of our plan. And so as I do, I rabbit holed into what homeschooling would mean for our family. And with my husband's schedule with work and just the flexibility I have with real estate, it made sense. So we did a trial year. And this year we're actually really doing it where we're having to report to the state and everything like that. And it's going great. It really is. I love it.
Yeah. And I see that you use to teach your daughter and your son both. I see that you use a lot of real estate actually to teach them numbers and little Mila walking around in your Instagram stories saying that she had to like fill out contracts because she had a new listing. Like she's just such a little you. It's so sweet to see.
Yeah. And she has my old Razor phone, the Motorola. So she'll flip it up and go, Tara, I'm going to fire these clients. She knows to call her. It's so funny. And they learn a lot by being with us. And I do think as a parent, like I want them so integrated into my normal life and what I'm doing. And because of what we built, we're able to do that right now. And they want to be, which is the most beautiful part. So they're going to be able to sell a house by the time they're like 10.
Yeah.
They've been to closings, all the things.
You're
Love
pretty
that.
open about your battle with ADHD. Like
Yeah.
you are definitely open about it. You talk about it a lot. You talk about, things that you have to do, whether it's medically or just mentally. How do you, real estate does pull us. You almost have to have a little bit of that ability to shift quickly, right?
Yes.
From like, we're sitting here doing a podcast, but like I'm texting people about going to a showing and making sure they have the docs and asking somebody else to send them and
double, triple, quadruple tasking like at any given time.
So when and I am blessed, I would say, to not have ADHD. I can kind of hone in on what I'm doing. But you struggle with that. So how do you find that balance, especially with homeschooling? Because I would imagine that could intensify those feelings of anxiety and things that kind of come with that. How do you battle that?
I mean, I feel like people who have their kids in public or private school, they have more work to do because they have to do all the things that the teachers are saying and do all the forms and be on someone else's schedule, where I get to choose this schedule. So I think that actually is a huge positive for us because I can block out a morning and be like, okay, so I'm going to do lessons with Easton from this time. And then Mitch, you're going to do lessons with Mila. And he likes to say I'm the principal and he's the substitute teacher because I just kind of tell him what's going on.
He knows who's the boss.
But he's happy to step right in and help, which it takes a team to do what we're doing. I definitely don't do it by myself. And I think if I can just focus on like the times we set aside to do those things, and real estate is so unpredictable. And I like it that way because I'm pretty unpredictable. So it pairs well together. And a lot of my clients, they know me personally. So they understand my character and my personality and they work really well with it. So
what is your goal? Like if you could say, like, I want to do this, do you see that you're going to continue homeschooling? Like, do you think people say that and put that out there right away and like, yes, I'm going to do this forever? Or do you see it more of like a nonlinear path? Like we may have to do something different. I may have to do real estate different. Like, what do you see for that in the future?
I think being open to change is really important. So whatever's going to fit your family now may not fit in a year, and that's okay. Like giving yourself the grace to change is huge. And a lot of people do ask, how long are you going to do that for? What about socialization? I get all the questions and I'm like, I mean, how long are you going to do public school for? Like, everybody has a choice.
Yeah.
And
not one family functions the same.
No,
right?
Not at all. So for now, we're really content. I like to say until further notice. Nowadays with the resources that they have, online schools, Green Bay is a great city to live in for homeschooling. There are many organizations and co-ops that are here. Churches are huge with supporting the homeschool community. A lot of places like the YMCA or the PAC Center, they have homeschool classes specifically. So when you live in a community like this, it makes it so much more obtainable.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you can pull so many lessons from either of those things because I see you do it in real estate every day. Alexis and I, watch you um like focus in and hone in on certain things when you need to. You're like, I'm going to work on social media, and then you do it for like a week. And then you're like,
That's
oh,
my
I'm going to
hyperfixation.
yeah, or I'm going to
Yeah.
but that can be really good. That's
Mhm.
such a strength, I think, because
Well,
like
and
you said,
Well, and
yeah,
I wanted to say that every single thing that you do, like
It's
even if you're
beautiful.
hyper fixating on one thing and then maybe like you break from it for a week, but like while you're doing it for that 1 week, I mean, like it is top tier, like damn near professionally done.
Mhm.
Like you do
Thanks.
so incredibly well. I mean, even some of the content that we use on our Instagram page, we're just like, Emily did really, really good with this. We're just going to take a little bit of this and we're going to put it out there because she did it so beautifully. So
Yeah.
I mean, like truly when it comes to our marketing, like even just that,
Mhm.
you're a piece of that for us too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And I love doing that stuff.
Mhm.
It fills my cup. So I know that you guys were talking before about like balance, and that word can like drive me up a wall because I don't think I really know balance. I think I know letting myself go down those rabbit holes and just feeling the ebbs and flow of like what my personality needs. So if I need to dive deep into something, I need to give myself the grace to do it and ignore the other things because I'm doing really good at this and I'm wearing this hat right now, and then just run with it.
Right. And not being afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Oh, absolutely.
You're really good at that too. Like you're definitely
Like
the first.
knowing yourself, knowing
Mhm.
what serves you at that given time, and then just like following through with that intuition.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to, or otherwise, like you said, it's going to drive you up a wall if you try and fit into like one specific mold.
absolutely. Yeah. And Mitch is really great at reading that too. So, like this week, having a listing coming up and all that, like we know that that's going to take up more of my time. So, we look at our schedule and it has to be week by week for me. Like, it can't be the month. So, the kids will talk about, okay, what day do we want to go to the library? And what day do we want to do this? And I have a listing coming up. So, then Mitch knows that I need more from him. So, we like to say that it's never 50-50. It's normally like 70-30 or 80-20.
Yep.
Depending on the week.
Depending on the
Yeah.
week. And sometimes he needs more from me and sometimes I need more.
Yeah. I believe that about relationships in general.
Mhm.
I think
Absolutely.
sometimes you have
It's
to give
and take constantly.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes you have to give 100% and your partner's giving nothing.
Yep.
And the vice versa. They're giving 100% and you're giving nothing. I think that's something that I've learned in the last few years, because I'm remarried, right? Like with blended family. And it's amazing learning it's never 50-50. I do not like the idea of that because it's impossible.
Michael and I talk about that all the time, and it's actually we talk to a therapist pretty regularly, both separately and just as a couple in general. And we find that it really helps for us to hone in on what's important. But one of the main things that we talk about a lot is the nastiness that the word fair
Yes.
brings to our relationship. Like there is no such thing as fair. Like nothing is
Yeah.
ever fair. It's what you're willing to tolerate. It's what you're willing to give. It's how you accept love. It's how you give out love. Like nothing is ever 50-50. Nothing is ever fair. Like that doesn't
Mhm.
exist.
No, it really doesn't. And I like to tell Mitch, he is a very he's a risk taker. He likes adrenaline. He likes all that kind of stuff.
He's a Uber boy.
But I'm a scenic route girl, like we're very different in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I can never take that away from you. Like, because a lot of his coworkers, he recently broke his arm dirt biking. And a lot of his coworkers are all females because he's in healthcare. And they're like, how mad is Emily? Or do you have to sell your bike? And I'm like, why would I be mad? He's hurt. Like, I
Yeah.
love him. Like, why would I be mad? Why would I make him sell something that brings him joy? Like, I gotta let him fly, man. Otherwise, he's not going to be
Accidents
happy.
happen.
Accidents happen, but
They
it's more just respecting him as like a person that like it's something he wants to do, and he's done that so much
Yeah.
for me. I mean, if I were to just go to corporate America and use my degrees and get a stable job, gosh, I'm sure majority of his headaches would be solved, but he knows that that's not letting me fly. So
Right.
he's not going to do that. And
He supports you and he loves you, like truly who you are.
and he finally is like in support of the homeschool thing in like a genuine way. It took him a little bit to get on the train, but now when I hear him talking about it with people and he'll throw like statistics at him, and I'm like, yeah,
Because
get
not a lot of people know anything about homeschooling. Like
Right.
truly, they don't know anything
Mhm.
about homeschooling. Like I feel like there's a lot of biases that revolve around the
and a lot of
homeschooling world.
curiosity. I have a lot of
Yeah.
people reach out and ask questions. They're like, how do you do it all? And like most days I do like one thing
Mhm.
or maybe two things. I don't do it all
Right.
the time.
Well, education is so not traditional anymore, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Like all of my children, they have all handled education differently.
Completely.
Right? Youngest Julia is going to do 4 years of high school with the goal of probably Ivy League, maybe medicine or whatever she decides she wants to do. She'll absolutely be able to do it. Those doors will be open for her. Maria, she's like, hey, I'm just going to graduate. That is my goal, is to not have to be at school anymore. So she worked her ass off in order to be able to graduate, to just like get it done early and do it early. Alana got done early because she wanted to start college early, totally different intentions than Maria. So but those opportunities were there for them. We didn't have that when I was in high school. It's like you went 4 years, no matter what, you sat in those desks, you did what you did. Now they have a blend. Like, oh, you want to stay home half days? That's cool. Just get your stuff done.
Most kids, they need different things.
They
Not
need that.
only do they function different things, but like as parents, it's our job to be able to read what it is that our kids truly need. My daughter, she was going to Royal Montessori Academy here in town, and as great of a program as they are, they just weren't giving her what she in particular needed.
Right.
So it was just something that I needed to make that shift for her. But I have my youngest daughter, Marley. Royal Montessori would probably be a really good fit for her.
Yeah.
But, my mom brain says have them both in the same place. And we love where they're at right now. Christian Creekside Montessori is absolutely amazing with the kids.
Yeah, you got to make it work for you. Otherwise, if it doesn't work for you, and that's the same thing with what we choose to put the kids in. As far as curriculum goes, I just do open and go. I'm not the Pinterest mom. When I say homeschool, that doesn't mean that I'm like baking and have these elaborate crafts. No, like that is not how it is. Like it is, I open up their book, we get our book work done, and then Easton wants to go ride his dirt bike, or he wants to do a Lego build that has 500 pieces. And then Mila wants to paint her nails because she's a 5-year-old girl. So
that's learning too, though.
It's all learning.
Like it's truly learning. People think that that's all just play, but play is such an important piece of children learning.
It is.
I think people are starting to remember that.
Yes.
But that was a little forgotten.
Yeah. And I think like I'm seeing it in my post-teens, right? Or my daughters are run from 16 to 21, and then my stepsons are 22 and 24. And that expectation of releasing that of what was used to be expected, right? You used to go to school, then you went to college, and then you did this and you got your job. And it's like, that's kind of out of the window now. I love that. Like my daughter, Maria, she's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Even if that means she's watching Netflix until that happens, which is
painting
like in
nails.
5 months when I birthed this baby.
Yes. Oh yeah. Trust me. We've been talking about
nanny.
it. It comes up every day. Yeah, Mom, I can't go work at Starbucks because Alexis is having a baby in 5 months.
I need her.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to pay for gas until then. So we're going to figure this out, so it's like, but I love that for her because I love that she's not being forced to go to 4-year school, which she would hate and be miserable and probably end up somewhere she didn't want to be, making decisions she shouldn't be making.
Right.
Whereas right now she's in a safe place and she can live her life and do what she wants.
And a 4-year degree can definitely serve some people.
Absolutely.
If you know exactly what it is that you're wanting to do and you want to be able to, continue on. A lot of professions require that you have a master's degree. And in order to have your master's degree, you have to have your bachelor's degree.
Right.
And you have to follow these specific steps. But that's if you know exactly what you want to do. There's a lot of people that were given, the advice where you have to get a 4-year degree. You have to go to college. This is what you have to be able to do. I mean, my own dad, when I was going to lacrosse, I went right away for business, decided that I didn't want to go for business, switched over to early childhood education, decided, you know what? No, not for me. And he said, well, Alexis, you need to graduate. You need to get at least a degree. Why don't you go for
I
liberal
got hit
arts?
with that when my mom saw I was pregnant.
Yep.
She's like, you better graduate.
Yes. And I just thought, what am I going to do with a liberal arts degree? I'm going to come out of college with nothing any more clear. There's going to be no clarity added to my life. And what am I going to do? I went from there and I ended up getting my aesthetics license, and now I'm in real estate. And I feel like I found my place. I love what it is that I'm able to do with my company now, but it's just a lot of people were forced into that 4-year mentality that they had to have that. Now you go to the technical colleges and they're the ones that are pumping out everybody that's in the trades. And the trades are where the money is to be made.
Yep. But my kids get to watch me pursue work as well as teaching them. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket. They get to watch the perseverance it takes to build a business and be a part of it. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
I think
Lead
that is
by example.
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to note, because in real estate, even though you work for a business, right, you're working with Legacy first, but you are creating your own business. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, what does that mean for you? Because I think that's, out of everybody here within the company, I think you do the best job of self-branding.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you really do.
So
yeah, I think I go into everything with the intention of, I'm measuring the success based on the good I do for others.
Mhm.
So having a serving heart, and that's kind of like my phrase I like to use a lot. It's really important to me. And I think that's why my business has grown the way it does. And I like to say, I'm not going to be on the billboard. I'm not advertising that way, but I'm treating my clients really well. And it shows because they keep coming back and referring people. And
Referrals are everything.
I want to work with people that understand who I am and my character, and that I treat my priorities like priorities. And it's worked so far.
Yeah, I love that. When we come back, we're going to keep learning more about you and have some fun with you as we go over some national holidays and talk about things going on around the country and how that applies to you.
Oh, good.
I
Can't
know.
wait.
You're going to love it. Okay, Emily, today is the fun stuff now. We get to talk about the national holidays.
There's always a bunch every given day, but we're just going to give you a couple to be able to choose from.
All right.
Okay.
And we're just going to gap about them a little bit. All right. So it is between National Gobstopper Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a good one.
She didn't seem very, very thrilled by National Gobstopper Day. Okay. Moving on. We have National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
Oh,
Okay. A little bit better. National Eat a Hoagie Day.
these are a lot of food based.
My
Yes.
teeth hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's the real contradiction. There's also National Rose Tequila Day
Mm.
or National Sober Day.
They're the same day.
They're the same
National
day, friends.
Rose Tequila Day.
Yeah.
That brings me right back to 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And National Sober Day.
National Sober Day, National Tequila Rose Day,
National Hoagie Day, National Gobstopper Day, or National
Filled Donut Day.
Cream-filled
Cream-filled
donut day.
I'm going rose tequila here.
Oh, do you have a story?
Yes.
Yeah. So my grandma,
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Every
Who's-
good story
who is
starts with a
grandma?
grandma.
it's my dad's mom, and she just turned 85.
What's grandma's
Mm.
name?
Kathy. She lives in
Kathy?
Portage, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Portage.
Yes, Portage. And she's outlived 2 men now. My grandma's always had boyfriends growing up. Both my grandpas died early on. And so I was just used to my grandma's having boyfriends. That was like normal. And she says the key is having a drink of tequila rose every night. And
What?
you'll be okay.
You serious?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
like an
on
apple a
ice?
day, but she said
That's how you
it's
deal with
tequila.
the men.
Okay, how does she take it?
Oh.
Does she like put it on ice?
On
Does she?
ice.
Oh, she sips it.
Yes.
She's not like doing a shot in the kitchen.
You know what
No,
though?
she's
Good
sipping it.
tequila is very sippable.
Yeah, good tequila. But have you ever had tequila rose?
No, I don't think I've ever had tequila rose.
Are you serious?
No.
Well,
I just recently started getting into tequila because one of my best friends started a little bit of like a liquor collection. Like she will go someplace and like she'll buy like the $500 bottle and sit
Okay.
at home and
this
like,
isn't
sip.
like that.
No.
This is like the Zima of beer or the Seagrams of wine coolers. This is tequila rose is this thick Pepto-Bismol-ish
Oh, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
tequila.
Did she have heartburn from these men?
It's she could.
Oh,
Has
bless.
she
So, yeah,
ever-
that was her advice to me. Just some tequila rose every
Tequila
night.
rose
So
every
do you
night.
do it?
No.
How does
No.
Mitch feel about that?
I mean, grandmas, they always have their quirks. So you just got to love them as they are.
That's
Yeah, that's very true.
well, they have a tequila rose convention every year
Where?
in Cool, Texas.
course.
In
They
Cool
do.
My friend's from Texas. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why she learned to love
Yeah.
tequila.
She actually used to live in Texas half the year.
Okay, in Cool,
Yeah?
Texas, they have a tequila rose convention every year. And you go around all these stations, okay, and you go into this big conference hall and they give you this like shot glass thing. And then for every time you try tequila rose, they also give you a rose. So like the bigger your bouquet is at the end of the
The
day,
drunker you are.
yes, but you've also got to enjoy really good tequila rose
Wow.
on ice because it's Cool, Texas.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But then how would you actually keep the ice cool?
I don't know. They just drink it on ice. It's the Cool, Texas thing. You'll have to call the mayor and ask him.
Oh,
His name's
okay.
Tom.
Tom, if you could please get in touch with us.
See if he knows
like,
Kathy.
comment,
So
subscribe.
for any listeners in Cool, Texas,
Yeah, we would love an invitation.
to the Tequila Rose Conference.
How did you get invited there? Is it like an exclusive invitation? It
It's
sounds
on
like a very
LinkedIn.
exclusive thing.
On LinkedIn.
On
That-
LinkedIn.
You have to know people.
I do need
Yep.
to update my LinkedIn.
You need to Google it.
Yeah.
Look it up and go to LinkedIn and you'll be invited. It's a
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Emily,
You can get like
Emily,
a t-shirt.
You heard it first.
Yeah, you heard it first here.
It's amazing. I can't wait
Yeah.
to go. We're all going to go. Is this a team bonding event?
It is. We'll bring
Okay.
your grandma.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, she could be the queen.
She
They
needs
they
to
do because
come.
they do.
They dub queens and kings.
Yeah, they do. It's actually just
I
the
bet she's
queen.
already won
Mhm.
it. We could ask her.
That's like she carries the bouquet.
Well, I
of
mean, have you
roses.
seen any
Yeah.
tiaras like
Mhm.
just laying around her house? That's probably exactly where that
That's-
came
yeah.
from.
Could have been.
They're probably made out of like the melted bottles of tequila rose.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they have welders there.
Super cool.
I
yeah.
should check in on her today, with it being the national
We should call
holiday.
her.
Yeah.
Just saying. Hi, Grams. Love ya.
And she's so funny because she's been battling with just Alzheimer's over the past few years, and she still
Yeah.
lives independently, pretty with it. But
good for
she has
her.
2 phones.
Yeah.
Because she lost one and got
Okay.
another one, so now she has 2 Apple Watches.
But she does not.
So she'll go,
What?
Emily, these things are worse than a man. It keeps telling me to get up and breathe. And
Oh
I'm
my
like, just
God.
take them off, Grandma.
Oh my
You don't
gosh.
have to wear them.
Get up and move.
Yeah, or just
Yeah.
take off the watch.
Yeah.
But she feels bound to them.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
she's something.
goodness.
All right. Well, you're Grandma Kathy. We
Mhm.
love you. We're going to send you a bottle of tequila rose. We'll have Emily deliver it.
She would love that.
Yeah.
Her and her cat Iris. They can sip tequila rose together.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
I can't believe this. It's like the day was meant for her. You were meant to be here today, Emily.
Thank you. I feel the same.
Divine.
Yeah.
Divine intervention for Emily to have been here today as our guest.
So, as you know, Caribou Coffee sponsors us. And one way they are sponsoring the podcast is by giving away coffee and treats to a nonprofit of your choice. So,
Yay.
we always ask our guest, what is your favorite nonprofit? Because whoever you pick for their next meeting,
They get
conference,
back coffee.
they give back coffee and treats. So,
So fun.
who would you like to be the recipient of the Caribou donation?
I would love it to go to the Brown County Library, and I'm very biased to the Howard branch.
Okay.
They are just an amazing organization that offers so many resources to families, whether you have little ones or whether you just love reading. I know I've personally gone and used their study rooms so many times with working and having the kids, and I just need to get out for a bit. And we love being there. The kids are obsessed with going to the library. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Matilda.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear Mila is Matilda. Like
Oh,
she'll just
yeah.
go in with her big old stack of books and go right up to the librarian and ask for help and want to find things.
Oh.
And it's just a great place to be.
She's like a blonde Matilda.
She is.
Yeah.
Literally. And she'll go, I just made pancakes this morning. Because
She
like
probably-
quoting the movie.
She probably feels so incredibly important with like her library
Oh, yeah.
gift card and
Mhm.
having like everything that she gets to check out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
Well,
I love that you love that. That's a little
Yeah.
piece of my legacy.
Yes.
Being that that's the Wires Hilliard Library. My grandpa had donated some money to be able to build that for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, somebody from there will reach out to them because they've got coffee coming their way
Yes.
and little treats for their next staff meeting. So,
Perfect.
yeah, we love that you're so community involved. We love that you're continuing to push your business in a totally different way. You do real estate in a different way. It goes right along the lines with what we do at Legacy First. And we are just so excited to have you on the. I know we love it. So we're giving you a heart. We just love having you here. Thanks for coming and
Thanks, guys.
sharing
Love
more about
both.
you, Emily.
Thanks for being with you. Love you back.
Love you back.
Just like this podcast, Really Relatable, Caribou Coffee is high quality, the pep in your step that you need while being down to earth and staying true to who they are.
That midday pick-me-up that can come from the yummy handcrafted Caribou coffee, all while listening to the Really Relatable podcast with the relatable doses of real-life humor, women in business, reality, and so much more.
Caribou Coffee is that warm hug and good feeling you want when life seems crazy and you need a quick escape and maybe a dose of caffeine.
Caribou Coffee is committed to supporting small business and nonprofits in the communities they're brewing in.
We are so thankful to have had Emily here with us today, talking a little bit about what it is to be a realtor, what it is to be a mother, homeschooling her kids all at the same time, and a little bit about what it takes to do that and having that supportive piece in her husband even.
Yeah. And to balance it all while you're still dealing with your own stuff, right? We all have our own stuff. So she's open about, doing all of these different things with ADHD, where like I'm doing all these things where I have like so many different things like that I want to do next, right? Like trying to stay present. So I think we all have our own things. Like you're growing a human while you're also trying to grow a business. So it's like trying to manage and navigate all of that. I just love the way that she does it.
Yeah. It's listening to yourself. It's listening to your intuition. It's knowing and being in tune with who you are and what it is that you need. And first and foremost, honoring that.
And learning to be intentional, which
Yeah.
I think she does that really well. So
She truly does. So we're very, very thankful to have her as a part of our team. We're very, very thankful that she came into our lives.
Yeah. And I love that she picked the Brown County Library too. I love that. I love that Caribou gets to send them coffee. I love that they sponsor us that way by actually just giving back to nonprofits. You know, we love that that's how they sponsor this show, by being able to do that and partner with us in that. And then, of course, to Ray Jewelry, somebody's going to win a super cool $25 gift card to that. So, and you can do that by liking, sharing, commenting.
Get yourself a beautiful piece. Get yourself a necklace. Get yourself a bracelet or beautiful piece of jewelry for your ears. Your earrings.
So continue to follow us on all of the shows and anywhere that you can find us. Follow us, subscribe, like us, send us a message, heart our stuff. You know, it's just all the shares that you can do and interact with us. We love it. We love the support that we're getting.
Yes. I feel like I need to try and say it because I am going to get this.
You're going to do it.
You need to follow us on Spotify or subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
You nailed it.
You nailed it. Yes.
Amazing. Please do it. We always appreciate your support and we would love for you to tune in and listen to what it is that we have to talk about.
And remember, until next time, always stay
really relatable.